Hi friends, Andy Vegan. Today is my gentle juice fasting day. I do that once a week on the average. It's the best fasting day I pick with a moon calendar, but that's another story. Main thing is once a week. I do it regularly. And to be able to do that, I do it always, so for decades. I do it in a gentle way, very easy. There's no stress, no pushing myself. I always want to feel great. That's how I can keep it up. If something I don't like or it's too much, I don't want to do it. It's difficult. But this way, only one day, night before, night after, that's a long time. That is medically also no problem. If you're healthy and feel great, you can always fast a day. The doctors say there's no problem. But when you do it longer, it might be problematic. The inner organs might be a little bit harmed or so, or pressed or whatever. You should have a medical surveillance from one day on, longer than that. So for these reasons, I do it once a week and forever, so to say. I did all kinds of fasting before, but yeah, that's where I got to now, and I like it the best. It's so effective. It's a reset. Like turning off a computer, bringing it back up. You have some mistakes in the system. Oftentimes it's already resolved already. Just shutting it down and bringing it on again. So that's something also the fasting does. It's to shut down the intestines. They rest. The digestion doesn't take place. The fiber, when I have the juices here, I make juices, fresh juices from veggies and from fruit. I take out the fiber. That is with a juicer. I filter it. I'll show you in a moment. And then I drink the rest. This doesn't need to be digested. It goes into the body and directly into the bloodstream. The liquid and the minerals and the vitamins, a part of it, of course, part of it goes away with the fiber. But a great part also stays in the juice and goes directly into the bloodstream. And this no digestion thing is so powerful. So one thing is I reduce my calories. That brings the body to another state of getting energy. You have too little energy, the body begins an emergency mode, so to say. It has less energy, so it gets the energy in a new way, more effective. It's called ketosis. So the ketones are small molecules. Sugar is a large molecule. Ketone is a small molecule, and these small molecules, it is easier for the body to make energy with that, so it's more effective. And it's a cleansing tool. The body begins to consume itself. That's what's not needed anymore, will be burned to energy. So it's a cleansing, and it's a more effective way to live. But of course, not for a short time. You can't do it a long term, because the ketosis is dangerous for a long term. It's not so good. There are huge disputes about it. I don't want to go into that. I think we have enough evidence to say it's for short term only. Usually. It's the best thing to do. So, the long story short, I do the fasting with a lot of joy and without harming myself or pushing myself, and in an easy way. And to feel great, making a fresh juice is wonderful, because these juices, they can taste delicious and give so much energy and nice. Today I make a beet juice, and I was in the shop and I thought, oh wow, where are the beets? There were no beets. And I turned around and they were in another place, and they had this whole beet. They had a whole beet, some whole beets with the leaves on top. The beet here, this is under the earth, and this is above the earth. They have green leaves with red stems here, I found, and this is the root. It usually juice the beetroot, and then I usually don't find these, but they have it from some time to time. And so I found it. I thought, let's make a beet juice with the whole beet. And I did that once already, but here I make a new one. I add orange and apple. That's a good amount, a healthy amount. Usually beets by itself, some people like it. I think it is very tough to drink, because they have a lot of oxalates, the beets. So beets are amazing, healthy vegetables. If you eat beet, for example, like 2 hours or so, or drink it before you do a workout, you can actually have more endurance. So beet is very powerful. It brings the oxygen to the body everywhere, to the cells. It's good for the blood, and it's also gives you more energy, more endurance. And there are many things that beet does. It's a very healthy veggie, but it has also oxalates. That is a heavy or undissoluble salt. It builds such a salt, these oxalates. They can cause a little bit of problem, but only if you're not healthy. If you are a vegan, whole food, plant-based vegan diet, then some oxalates won't matter to you. But it can, in difficult cases, it can block the kidneys and gallbladder stones, and so these kind of things can happen if you have too much of it. So the beet has a lot, spinach even more, but that's the only thing, you know. And when I drink this pure beet juice, it begins to scratch in the throat here, yeah. But 20 minutes later or so, it begins to scratch. I felt it, and it takes 2 hours to go away. It's not dangerous, but it is very unpleasant. The scratching inside, it's strange. And when I put a fruit into a beet juice and I juice a fruit with the beet, it doesn't happen. And an easy way to do it is an apple and an orange. Here I have a large amount of apple and orange, 2 or 3 cups each. Yeah, let's say 3 cups, apple, orange each. And that is a healthy amount. When you have a veggie, a general rule for juicing, you want to have a delicious juice. I take veggie to make it more mineral rich, yeah, and the fruit to make it more delicious, because the veggies oftentimes have a strong flavor, earth flavor. Carrots not so much, but beets already, and there are other greens that have a strong flavor. You want bitter sometimes, and you want to make it a little bit sweet and sour with the juice, with fruit juice. So apples and oranges are wonderful, easy available, and they can also balance the beet flavors and make it delicious. That's enough for today, for the theory about the fruit here I have in the veggies, just to make it delicious and healthy. That's the main point. And here I have lemon and ginger, a nice large lemon without the peel, and a nice piece of ginger. Maybe that's 3 inches or 4. I don't know if I take all of it. I'll try. I will juice it and also try, maybe I can use some peel. Not so sure about that from the lemon, because the lemon peel is very healthy. The yellow part is super healthy. It's the healthiest part of lemon, but it's also bitter flavor. And we have already the leaves of the beet. They can have a strong flavor. So I'm careful when I have these kinds of greens in the juice. I'm careful with the peel especially. So I check it out, how much peel I can take, or if at all. And then I come back when the juice is done and I show you the juice. See you in a moment. That's my whole beet juice with apples and oranges, and lemon and ginger to boost the other flavors. I forgot to mention, sometimes I use lemon and ginger as a pairing to boost the other flavors. Ginger also allows me to make more of the nutrients in the other ingredients. So the beet and the apple, and so they have nutrients. And when I have ginger in the same recipe, I can take more of these nutrients, and my body can do that. Ginger is an amazing recipe ingredient. It is it's hot. It presents the fire in the Ayurveda, the Indian old medicine, and it's used in many recipes, that fire to unleash the power of the food, to digest it better, fire of digestion and so forth. It's really true. I mean, there's science about it, how much ginger is an amazing ingredient. I have it always in large quantities at home for teas, and so I like to use it. It's to boost the others. And the lemon does something similar. But I couldn't use too much lemon. I found it in between, I switched off the juicer and tasted a little bit to check if I can use the peel. And it was a little bit sour when I tried it without the peel, the taste. I thought, not too much lemon, but maybe I try a little bit of the peel. So I put 2 pieces of this peel in and tasted again, and it was a little bit strong. I mean, 2 pieces, very small amount of the lemon peel, was okay. I'd say it makes it even a little bit nicer, maybe the smallest amount, but it quickly turns into something unpleasant, something in the flavor that is too aggressive, too dominant. You don't want that, because this beet flavor, this whole beet flavor, the leaves of one beet plant, or long leaves and one little root, this together has such an amazing expressive beet flavor. I was so surprised. The other one I made, it was many years ago, but this one reminded me when you have a chance to have a whole beet with its fresh, crunchy leaves, juice it right away with the root, and I added here some apple and lemon and orange, and only a half lemon, by the way. I would mention that this is a half lemon that's left. One lemon, one large lemon, or a small lemon. You could use a small whole lemon, but the large lemon, only half of it. That would have been too sour otherwise, because there is a natural sweet sour flavor in this juice already with the oranges, the apple, and the beet. Beet has a lot of sugar. That was so delicious. Too much lemon would spoil that, make it too sour. So I have half a lemon and a tiny amount of peel, you could leave that away, and a large amount of ginger. That's wonderful. And let's taste it now. Didn't taste it now, and when it's ready, I juice everything. Also here, that's the fiber that comes out of the juicer. That's the fiber mostly. And it is that what usually cannot be digested, but it helps digestion and the intake of nutrients. It also produces some nutrients while digested or while in the intestine. So it's a complicated matter, but to make it short, all the plants produce fiber, their own kind of fiber that is a very, very healthy thing. It makes our food healthy. Without the fiber, general food is not healthy. Juicing is an exception because it's a fasting day. We have a different mode to get energy. That's called metabolism. The metabolism is how we get energy out of the food, for example. And the fiber on a fasting day is not needed because they have it out of the way. On a regular day, I would say you always use the fiber, of course. But it is interesting, when you take out the fiber, you have the pure energy of that juice, and the digestion has not to take place. So just to tell you how it works. And so I take out the fiber, and I juice the fiber again to get more out of it, and then I put it in here, and then the juice tastes again a little bit different. So I haven't tasted it now. I have to shake it, stir a little bit to have it all homogeneous to taste the juice. That I do now. The color is beautiful. It's always a powerful, full red. That's always from the beet. Colors are so important for our food. The nutrients, color is a nutrient. It's very important, almost like the vitamins. And then it is runny. It is not too thick. That means the beet is fresh. If you have an old beet, the juice gets a little bit thicker. The water comes out of the fruit, of the beet, and then it is thicker, the juice. And also the apple and the orange, they don't make it that thick. It is a nice runny juice. I will show you in a second, but now I'll taste it. I'm very excited. Let's see. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh, so really, the sweet sourness is so expressive, so beautiful. I didn't have that in other beet juices. I guess it is because I have the whole juice, the whole beet, and it was a relatively fresh one. And the beet, amazing. The orange and the apple and the lemon and ginger, perfect for me. Try for yourself. If you like more or less fruit, it's sometimes a little different. People like more or less fruit in a veggie juice. Here, this is wonderful. You see, it's runny. It's a beautiful color. And it's perfect for a fasting day to make a joyous meal. Yeah, that's the last part I want to tell you. Practically, I eat a meal a day or two on a fasting day with juices. I drink this juice like a meal. So sip by sip, slowly. I do something else. Yeah, I read something or work on the computer, whatever, while drinking this, enjoying this. And then I also know what it feels like to drink this juice. So it's almost a liter. It's a lot. I cannot drink it fast because it goes directly to the bloodstream. I told you that. That means a lot of sugar goes to the bloodstream. that can have so-called sugar spikes. It's not so good for the well-being. It can make one confused, dizzy or so. That's why I drink it slowly to moderate the nutrients intake on the blood. Usually that is done by the fiber. The fiber moderates the intake. That's part of why it's so healthy. It makes the nutrient come into the body in the correct tempo. You know, the body is used to that. The body knows exactly how much nutrient it needs when it's healthy and balanced with the fiber. If they take the fiber out, the body can be confused, so I have to drink slowly. That's one thing about the juice. So it is a lot of fun to have these energizing juices on a fasting day. And then on the next day, I have to begin eating again. It's called breaking the fast. And that is very, very important too, because the whole effect of the fasting day is only really unfolding and preserved in the next days. So for example, you cannot really lose weight, for example, on a fasting day. Many people think that. Not the case, because the next day, the body does everything, and the after day, does everything to get more nutrient than it needs. Because you took nutrient, mineral energy from it on the fasting day, the body is very powerful. It has all the tools we don't have usually. The body is stronger and gets the energy that it wants. When the body is overweight, it wants to keep this state of overweight for some reason. Many reasons, might be good reasons. Body wants to keep that, and it's very hard to overcome that. So fasting is not the way to do it. What science says also. Science agrees on that now almost, I would say, almost everywhere. So what fasting to me does is I can change my diet, can transition to a new diet, to eating less, doing different. For example, transition to being a vegan, to eating a vegan diet, plant-based diet. That is what fasting can help with. Fasting is also usually, its juices is vegan, of course, and then you have already made the first step, for example. And then I have to eat again slowly, step by step. Yeah. Begin with an apple or something, or a little salad, and the heavy things, the more protein rich and more fat later, nuts or so a little bit later, if possible. Because the body is also more sensitive on a fasting day, and the heavy food, that is a very strong impression, and the body has to be used to that. And that's a nice way to start eating slowly and not overeating. I tend to overeat. After I eat less, I want to eat more. I have to control myself. So a little bit of discipline is in it, but that's also fun. You watch my body and say, hey, come on, body. Don't do that now. I will stop it. I will slow it. That's also a game here with my little body here. I try to control myself, and because then I feel great. Fasting feels so great if you do it gently, and if you do it correctly afterwards. Yeah, if you go back to eating in a moderate way and don't overeat. It's very temptative to me. Yeah, I really want to eat more, but I can't. Yeah, I know that. Because when I eat more, I get tired and the body is not happy. You know, I know better, so I should do it. And it's a nice game, you know, to learn to control myself. And that, again, this ability to control myself, to learn discipline in a very easy way, it's not difficult. Get a little bit of awareness. You need to be aware in every moment what you do, and you can't just take anything and grab it and eat it like a banana or apple. No, I just be aware. No, the body was fooling me. So this kind of awareness is a training, and that can also help me to transition, to make a new approach to my diet. The diet is in general something that is constant, permanent. You cannot change your diet all the time. Diet is something the body likes to have it always the same way. So what I try to do is having always the same diet. I can change it from time to time, but generally I try to keep it constant. That's what the body likes. The body runs on routines, you know, what you can do without thinking about it. Always the same. That's cool. And always doing something different too. Yeah, but that's the tricky part. That's why I make a new recipe every single day to get the most kind of nutrient, the more different plants into my menu, and to do it in a simple way to make these recipes easy and with small numbers of ingredients, so I can change everything, a small thing, make small changes, have a new recipe, have a new nutrients, new plants, and I always understand what I'm doing. I can correct it easily with small numbers of ingredients, and so forth. So that's the idea of my diet here. I want to share a little bit on that. Fasting is always a good opportunity to share some of these thoughts, these more general thoughts about causing health and diet, and so that's the topic on a fasting day. Also the flavors, of course, and the amazing flavors, these juices, very pure and concentrated. Nothing to digest, nothing to give away. Everything is dense in there. It's fascinating, the effect to feel the plants, how they work together, how they play together in the body, in the flavor. That's a nice thing on a fasting day, because you're more sensitive, more alert, more awake, more creative. And that is a good way also to talk about flavors. That's the crux of the cooking. The chef has to make delicious food, in my opinion, and then by combining the plants in different ways to make it healthy and delicious. So, thanks for watching. That's all for now. I would say thank you. I hope you enjoyed. If you like my video, subscribe. MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And when you like fasting, maybe you want to try, you go to Tree Yoga Moon Fasting on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, Tree Yoga Moon Fasting, my yoga style, Tree Yoga from Kali Ray, Yogini Kaliji. Check it out. But the Tree Yoga Moon Fasting page is also cool. There's all the juice recipes you can watch. And you can also see the fasting calendar for the best fasting days. Another topic. There were so many stories about fasting. That's enough for today. Thanks again. See you soon.